Hey James, how's it going? Welcome back to the NVC Dudes.
Yeah, I guess we are NVC dudes, huh?
We are.
NVC stands for Nonviolent Communication,
That's right.
and we're here just experimenting with dialogue around what NVC means to us, and every once in a while we actually practice it.
Right.
Sort of a meta conversation at this point.
Yeah. And you'll see it happen once in a while as you just kind of get in touch with those feelings, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I just want to call out that talking about NVC. Yeah, I just want to call out I feel some discomfort around just talking about it. Um, there's something around like congruence. Like I really value um, modeling what it is that we talk about.
Right.
Yeah, would you give me empathy for that?
Yeah, I'm hearing I'm hearing a lot of just need for authenticity around your practice and what this means to you.
Yeah. So authentic, right? That what we're talking about, we're using what we're talking about to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not in a classroom setting. This is just talking.
Right. Just
So
dudes talking about NVC.
we go in and out.
Yeah. So cool. So we got to do a little modeling there. So Brian gave me empathy for what I said, and it was landed well. So we did a little modeling there, and I asked for it, which is super advanced skill, right? To ask for what
Right.
you want.
Those are ninja NVC skills where you can actually make a request.
Yeah, and just to call it out. So I knew that Brian knew what empathy was. So when I asked for empathy, then yeah, do you want to just explain what you were doing? How you translated my request into action?
Yeah, and this goes back to just being able to practice NVC with you and a lot of other people, is that we do share a bit of a language where when we ask for things and those words are shared by us. So when you say I'd like some empathy, I'm interpreting that as you want to connect. You want me to deeply understand what you just said, sort of in an active listening kind of way, where I'm
Yeah, yeah,
responding to you and maybe interpreting it in my own way and going, well, this is what I heard. And sometimes you could say, well, that's actually not where I'm at. You could say, it's a little more in this way. You could craft it and it's not about getting it right. It's about really understanding you and connecting.
yeah. And what helps me to feel more connected to you is that you're able to get the gist of my feelings, what's up for me, and also to have you reflect my needs, which are that intrinsic motivator, that part of me that wants to be heard and understood, and like you said, I value authenticity,
Yeah.
and I value congruence, so that my words and actions are congruent, they're consistent.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about words in general, because when I first started in NVC, it was really important for me to get the words right. I wanted to learn the needs list and learn the feelings list and understand all the right words. And I think as I've grown in the NVC world, I understand that, words don't necessarily have intrinsic meaning, they have usages, right? So you're using a word in a certain way. And if we agree upon what that word means, and if we have some shared reality around that, right, then we can, I could use a word like farfignugal. And if I'm using, see,
Oh my God,
hey,
farfignugal. Man, are you serious? Did you call me farfignugal?
No, I was inviting you as a farfignugal.
Oh,
Well, that was the funny thing. I had the story. I've been explaining NVC to my mom and kind of how this works, and she interpreted the label as something else. And so, in a separate conversation, we were talking about curse words, and she, I don't like to curse around my mom because she doesn't like that kind of language. So she asked me point blank one day. She's like, "Do you curse in your regular life?" I'm like, "Yeah, I use curse words, but it's not to attack somebody. It's like I use them sort of as a descriptor, you know." And she responded, "Well, that doesn't sound very nonviolent communication to me." So she was associating, curse words with violent communication, which is not really true. I mean, if I'm using the F word and I say, you know, I want to go back to my room with my girlfriend and we can F, that's not a violent thing. That is actually a description of what we are going to be doing, you know, versus saying, hey, F you for cutting me off in traffic, you know. Words don't have intrinsic meaning. They have very much usage. I'd love to hear some thoughts you have on that, James.
Yeah, I was shocked that you would have the example of you know, the girlfriend and all that. Surprised, worried, you know.
Worried.
Don't want to get tagged. But yeah, words. I like that we're talking about this. This is so meta, you know, meta NVC. But yeah, what I love about NVC is, you know, if you are, especially in intimate conversations, you know, with intimate partners, the meaning that we associate with the words really matters, and the context, and so there's two meanings that are important. You know, the meaning that you intend behind the word farfignugal, and the meaning that I associate with that word, which is totally different. And I was assuming a definition that seemed really different than yours.
Right.
And so my interpretation of the word really is unique to me.
Right.
And so you know, again,
and maybe you wanted some clarity around that when I said that word. I mean, there might have been a moment where you're saying, hey, when you say this, do you mean this? And I could respond either, oh, yeah, or no, that's, you've got, you misunderstood me.
So what's the context of, I mean, I want you to use that word in a sentence, and because now I'm lost.
Yeah.
I thought you were expressing your emotions, your farfignugal emotion.
Yeah.
And I wanted to connect with that, but
I
need more of a definition.
Yeah, so I think I was just making up a word, but if we wanted to add some sort of context to it, I could say that I was using it in place of our traditional F word. So let's say.
Oh, I see. Got it. I get it now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because we don't want to be you know, hit with an explicit label on this YouTube video. So I was trying to dance around it. Yeah.
So I agree with you, and I would say that if I know that you're able to translate the word and see the beauty behind it, like the beauty behind my intention, I could even be screaming at you at the top of my lungs and saying farfignugal you, and you might see how upset I am because you know, I wasn't expecting that reference to you know, to girlfriends being brought up into the YouTube video. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, you'd be able to see the, you know, the needs that I'm trying to express tragically through my judgments.
Right. Yeah, and that takes, like you said before, it takes a level of skill to interpret, because if as a non-NVC person, I would probably, you know, feel a lot of criticism and maybe put my walls up and start defending myself instead of actually listening to the tragic expression that's behind those words, which I know you want to get out, but your anger is not allowing you to do that.
Yeah. So I'm noticing my my energy level dropping. I mean, I'm really into this meta discussion. I can get lost in the weeds. And is there anything else you want to add to this?
No, I think that was a great short discussion. I'm happy to end it here.